Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making this gorgeous mesh poncho. I recently made a vlog making one of these and I was like, I just love this top, so I needed to make a tutorial for it, and I love how this turned out. So I'm so excited for you guys to be able to come along for the tutorial and make one of your own. Let's get into it. For our materials, we're gonna need some weight for yarn. Mine is weight for acrylic yarn, loops and threads, impeccable, in the color Aran, A-R-A-N. And because this is a kind of like cover up more than a tighter top, I'm gonna use a 5.25 millimeter hook because I want my stitches to be a little bit looser. And then I have a darning needle and scissors as well. If you are a beginner and you need some help remembering all the new stitches, make sure to check out my ultimate beginner tutorial because I show all of them in that. Starting off our first row, we're going to do what I call foundation slip stitches. Some people call them foundation single crochets, but I do my foundation single crochets just a little bit different than this. So we're going to start off with a slip knot, put our hook in, and to start our foundation slip stitch, we're going to chain 2. Then we're going to go through the side 2 loops of the first chain, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Then you can like tighten this bottom one. Then into the next one, go into those side 2 loops, pull through those 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so you're just going to continue these foundation slip stitches until it reaches the width that you want for technically both panels, because both panels are going to be the exact same size. And so what I normally do is once I have a little bit longer, I measure it starting from where I want it to start on my arm, like if I want it to start down here or up here, and then measure it all the way up my arm, across my neck, and then down my arm on the other side. So for mine, I had 102 stitches for this first row. I would say that if you're about a size small to medium, this would work for you. If you're extra small, do a little bit less. If you're large, extra large, etc., do a little bit more. But of course, just measured on you. I don't do like specific measurements per size because I feel like everyone's size is a little bit different anyway. So just measure it up to yourself. So just continue these foundation slip stitches until you've measured up and it reaches a length that you like. And then we will start our next row. Alright, I just finished my first row, and again, I had 102 stitches. I'll put in a clip here of me holding up to myself to show you like how far it goes. And then also what the final version looks like again, so you can see kind of how that compares. Starting our next row, we are going to do the pattern that we use for every single row for both of these panels. So this mesh stitch row is literally what you're just going to be doing this entire time. First, you're going to chain 3. Then you're going to turn your work. And then you're going to treble crochet in the next stitch over. Quick clip from future me because I realized I didn't really explain that well how to do a treble crochet. You're going to yarn over once, yarn over a second time, go into your stitch, yarn over, pull through those 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So basically there's just one more yarn over, pull through 2, then a double crochet. I'll show you one more time, yarning over twice, going through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And then you will just continue doing what I'm about to say for the rest of the row. Then you're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, and treble crochet in the one after that. Chain 1, skip the next, treble crochet in the one after that. And that is literally it. You're just repeating those treble crochets, chain 1s all the way across every single row. So if you've got it, just keep doing these rows until it reaches the length that you want it to be. Again, just holding it up to yourself to see how long you want it to be. I ended up doing 12 rows of the mesh stitches, and I liked that length, but I think it technically gets a tiny bit cropped when you're like moving around. So if you want it to be full length, you could do a little bit more. If that's too long for you, you could do a little bit less. Just, again, hold it up to yourself, see what you're liking, what you're not liking. And for anyone that's got the pattern, make sure you're doing 2 stitches at the beginning and 2 stitches at the end. So the beginning, it's the chains and the treble crochet. At the end, you put 2 treble crochets. So like the edge of each row will have 2 stitches right next to each other. But if you're more of a beginner, make sure to stick around to the end of this row so I explain how you finish it, and the beginning of the next row so that you make sure you're following along correctly. We do need to be a little bit specific with how we do our last few stitches. So you're just going to go up until you have 4 or 5 stitches left. And what you're going to do is, if you have 4 stitches left like me, you're going to make a treble crochet, not into the first stitch, but into the next one, skipping 1 like we always do, and then chaining 1, skipping 1, going into the last. But then, because we want our double stitches at the end of the rows, we're going to do 1 more stitch right back into that exact same spot. So we're technically making an increase, but this is just to make that border. And for every row after this, you're not going to have to make that increase anymore because you already are going to have your 2 stitches on both sides. So this is how your first row should look, just same even gaps across the entire row. And to start your next row, and again, this is the pattern that we're using for the rest of the top, so if you ever lose track, just come back to this row to remember how to do it. You're chaining 3, turning your work, putting a treble crochet into the next stitch over. So this time you're putting a treble crochet into that treble crochet from the last row, like so. And then you're going to chain 1, skip the chain from your last row, and treble crochet into the next treble crochet. So basically, as we make these next rows, our gaps are going to be exactly lined up. So if you can see in my other panel, the entire time, all the gaps are perfectly lined up exactly into each other. That means every time you're doing a treble crochet, you're going right into a treble crochet. Every time you're chaining, you're doing it right over the spot that the chain was in your last row. You're never going to be putting a treble crochet into your chain, and you're never going to be putting a chain over the treble crochet from your last row. If you do that, your gaps are going to end up kind of like warping side to side. And while that does look really cute, that's not how I do this specific pattern, because it'll end up messing up how you have like the beginning and the end of the rows. So just continuing making these chain 1, skip 1, treble crochets all the way across the row, and then remembering at the end of the row you're going to go twice. So you're going to have 1 treble crochet here and 1 treble crochet here. once again at the end of the row, making my last treble crochets, and then doing 2 treble crochets at the end. So chaining one over my chain, treble crocheting into the first, and then treble crocheting into that turning chain from the last row. And there we go. Okay, and this is how the second row of those mesh rows is gonna look. Now you are just going to repeat these mesh rows until it reaches the length that you want it to be for the panel. So again, for me, I have 12 rows. That might be different for you. Just hold it up to yourself, see how it's looking. After you finished your first panel, by getting to that number of rows, what you're gonna do is go back to the beginning of the video and just repeat how we started this pattern with a second panel. So again, I kind of did it opposite. I already have my first panel done and this is my second panel, but for you, this is your first panel and you're gonna need to recreate it exactly the same with a second panel. So starts off the same way, same number of stitches for each row, same number of gaps in each row, and the like double treble crochet pattern at the edges of the rows. Everything is literally identical. You're just making the exact same thing for a second panel. To end off your panels, if you're not sure how to do that, you do a chain like we have been doing in between our gaps, and then you would just cut it off like right here, but I'm not going to cut it off since I'm still in the middle of my panel. At the end of your panel, you would cut it off so that you can make your second one. So yeah, just make this completed panel measured up against yourself, make a second panel that's identical to this, and then I will be back to show you how to stitch it together, and then we will be done. This is why I love this pattern so much, because it's so simple, so easy, honestly pretty fast as well, and pretty mindless. So, so many great things about this pattern. I'm so excited to see how it turns out. So let's do the rest of our rows and come back to finish it up. Okay, I just finished my second panel, and one thing you can do when you finish this panel is not cut it off, because when we're gonna stitch our panels together, we're gonna tie on our yarn right here anyway, so that just like removes a step. If you did already cut off your yarn, that's completely fine. Just tie your yarn back on at this spot so that we can continue to stitch it in. So the one thing that I do think is important, because again, it removes a step, is to make sure where you started this panel is at the bottom. So this is just where your extra end is. And then for your second panel, you're gonna do something very similar by having your end on the bottom, except you want it to be on the other side. So basically both your panels are gonna lay right on top of each other, but on the bottom you should have one end with no tie and the other end with your end, and then scooting over to the other side, same thing, no end on one panel, one end on the other panel. And it should basically be impossible to have the ends like not line up like this. So make sure that if it's not working, just flip one of your panels upside down and it should work. So just one tie, no end, same thing on the other side. Now to start stitching it together, you're gonna go to your other corner and just keep them laying right on top of each other. Then again, either tie your yarn on or just put your hook back in. And then we are going to stitch it together. So We're gonna do the same style of stitching together for no matter the amount of stitches you need to do, but for mine, in my original version, I stitched it over maybe like 15 gaps over, tried it on and felt like I needed a little bit more, and so then I added a few more. And so the same thing applies for you. If you stitch it over a certain amount and you try it on, and either one, you can't get it over your head, then in that case you would remove some of the stitches over. So like, let's say you went over to here, you would undo it so that it's only over to here. Or if you put it over your head and it's like super off the shoulder where you didn't want it to be, then you can go a couple more stitches over. So to stitch together, we're gonna chain one, go through outside loop of your front panel and the back loop of your back panel and make a single crochet. Front loop, back loop, single crochet. And basically we're doing the loop that's closest to you and the loop that's furthest away from you, so like your outside loops, because this is what makes a clean seam. And when you go into chains, you're going directly into the chains, still only going into one loop though. If it's too confusing to try and do the like outside loop thing, you can also just literally go through basically just like both loops. So like if I wasn't doing outside loops, I would just go through the first panel and then go through the back panel, and now I have 4 loops on my hook, and then I would make my single crochet. But I do think it makes the seam a little bit less clean. So if you're willing to try the outside loop thing, I definitely recommend it. But if it's too complicated, the other style definitely works, and I've done that on other projects as well. So for mine, I go over 19 gaps, but again, that number is probably going to be different for you, because even I've had other tops that are similar to this, and then that number was different. So we're just making these single crochets all the way across up to that point where you feel like would be a good spot to stop, and then you'll stitch over the other side and try it on. And you do just want to make sure that your panels are staying lined up, so every time you're going into a treble crochet in the front panel, you should be going into a treble crochet in the back panel, and same thing for your chains, because otherwise it's going to end up stitched together kind of like lopsided. Okay, so now I'm at 19 gaps over, and what we're going to do is give ourselves a ton of extra end so that when we try it on to check how it's fitting, we have extra yarn space to be able to add more stitches or take some away. So I always like to be pretty generous with how much I give myself. So I just have my hook like this and I pull it to the side and then cut off the yarn. So that gives me a ton of extra space in case I need to add more or remove some. Then what we're gonna do is stay on the top side of this panel, but just flip it over this way. So we want to make sure that the side that we just stitched together is now on our top left, and the side that we're about to do is on our top right, but it's all along the same edge, because otherwise you're going to have basically like one shoulder sleeve on the top and one shoulder sleeve on the bottom, which will not fit. So now we're going to go into this top corner, and for this corner we do have to tie, even if you did leave your yarn on for the other side. So we're going to take our yarn, take our hook, go through both loops of the front, both loops of the back, and pull our yarn through, and then I just tie it on with a normal knot. Then put my hook in and chain one. And then we're going to start the same thing on this side. So that second treble crochet, outside loops, make a single crochet, and continuing down to my chain. Next treble crochet, and just continue that all the way across. And I would recommend doing the same number that you did on the other side. It's okay if it's a random estimate, because like when I made my other one, I had nothing to reference and I just like guessed on what would fit. You can always like hold the panel up to yourself, kind of like up towards your neck, and try and like hold where the edge of where you want it to fit is, but it's not really an exact science if you do it like that, so it's totally fine to start stitching it and then try it on and see if it's fitting. I would recommend, if you did outside loops on your other side, I would do outside loops on this side, but if you were going through both loops of both panels on your other side, just reflect that on this side. So basically just like completely exactly imitate what you had on the other side, stitching it together. Okay, so this leaves me on my 19th stitch on this side. So I'm just gonna pull a little bit extra and cut it off, just like I did for the other side, so that I can try it on and see how it's fitting. Okay, so this is it on. I honestly am just looking at how it's fitting with my neck. Obviously, if I have it on, that means I was able to get it over my head, but you just want to have it centered so that it's like the same amount of space on both sides, and check to see if you want any more space or if you want less space. Do remember though that the direction of our row right now makes it so that we can't go so far over, because otherwise it literally won't fit over your head, but you can always make it wider so it's off the shoulder. But yeah, I think this is pretty good. This is what I did for the other one and it still looks good on this one, so I'm just gonna stick with this and I will show you what to do next. All right, now we are going to do our last stitch to be able to cut it off. I like to do a slip stitch as my last stitch, so I'm just gonna go into my chain, make a slip stitch, and then cut it off. If you tried it on and it didn't fit you that well, either add more of those stitches, same thing doing those single crochets, or remove some, just making sure that however many you remove or how many you add, you also reflect on your other side. But otherwise, you're just gonna cut it off like me. Putting our hook back in, going into the chain, making a slip stitch, and cutting it off. So now we are basically done. We just have one more step that is technically optional, and I will explain what it is. And then you also can choose whether or not to weave in your ends. I know some people just like weaving their ends on any project, but I do feel like this is one where it's like a very comfy vibe anyway, so having your ends doesn't look that crazy. So this last step is going to be tying our sleeves closed on the bottom. So when I first made the other one, I tried it on without having tied this part, and I just felt that like it shifted around too much because there was nothing like holding it in place. So if you would prefer to tie the ends closed like I'm doing, you can again just try it on, see if you like how it is right now, and if so, just don't change anything, or you can tie it on. So what we're gonna do is so simple. We're literally just gonna go in the side of the panel on the bottom. So this is where we stitch it closed, this is the bottom, and just grab that end that you have and tie a knot, looping it through, and then just literally tying it closed. And then we can just make like a second knot to make it a double knot. And that's literally it. So I'm gonna do the same thing on my second bottom corner. tying it shut, double knotting, and that's literally it. So again, you can choose whether or not you want to weave in your ends. I don't think I'm going to because I just like how it looks without weaving in your ends. But the one step you do need to do is turn it inside out, which is technically going to put it right side out. Because our seams do stick up like the tiniest bit, so they are meant to go on the inside. So literally just flip it inside out, and then now your seam is even, and we are done. If you want to weave in your ends and you don't know how, check out pretty much all of my other tutorials, because most of them I include how to do that, or just go back to my like ultimate beginner tutorial because I definitely show how to do it in that. But yeah, that is it. And this is how it turned out. Absolutely adorable. I love it. Honestly, I don't think it could have turned out literally any better. I feel like this is a top that I'm going to be able to make so many times because I can play with the length of it. I can play with the length of the sleeves. I can make the mesh smaller or bigger. Like, there's just so much I can do with it, and I'm so excited. I hope you guys were able to make your own, and if you did, please make sure to tag me when you post it because I would love to see it. Make sure to check out my Depop for crochet stuff I'm selling. If you are interested in commissions, make sure to DM me on Instagram because I would happily make a commission of this for you. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun, and I love how this turned out. So I will see you next time. Bye! Sleeve on.